Hello everyone, and welcome to your weekly with me as we take a look at the upcoming week from Monday. No, we're going to go back to Sunday. Sunday, May 8th to Sunday, May 16th, Sunday, May 15th, Monday, May 16th, 2022. I am your host, Natalie, spelled Natalee. And this is a week, I'm calling this weekly the Bullseye Seeks the Arrow, because we're leading up to the total lunar eclipse in Scorpio. It's a big deal. Pretty much, even if it's not hitting any particular planet in your chart, it's gonna put things, it's gonna end things. So let's go ahead and dive in. I'm not doing the downloads. We have a lot of downloads for you, so I'll be back for separate for those downloads, but we will do the tarot at the end for the collective for this week ahead. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, I believe we're quite all right. So let me just start the timestamps for the week. Okay. Hey everybody, welcome. Sunday. So just for some context for your week this week, Sunday, May 8th was a waxing, I almost said a waning, waxing, gaining in light, quarter moon in Leo. So this, Sunday, going into Sunday evening, there was this impetus, there was this heart-led feeling where you had to face your fear and you had to basically find that Leo 9, Leo courage deep down within to face his fear and manifest. It's on your way. These first couple weeks of the solar eclipse in Taurus, building on that energy, something, if you took any small action to commit to your heart's desire, what your heart really wants. And here's the thing is that there's a fear of maybe even being really happy or letting your heart kind of lead the way. There's this fear or there's some kind of obstacle that you had to overcome over the weekend that put that into perspective. And actually, as we are live streaming right now, that Leo moon opposed Saturn in Aquarius before it went void, of course, and it'll be void for the rest of the day. So that tension is going to hold until later this evening, Monday evening, when the sun, I really need to slow it down. The moon will ingress into the sign of Virgo. So this, the fear, the Saturn rules fear, and Saturn will make everything really hard, make you feel so victimized, make you really feel the fear in your bones. But it's only to give you an opportunity to prove to yourself that you can overcome the fear, and you overcome that through courage and bravery. And that's that beautiful Leo energy, that they're just so brave and courageous. And it doesn't matter if they feel fear, it doesn't matter if they've never done it before, it doesn't matter if they don't know what's going to happen, it doesn't matter. They just like, you know what, I'm going to follow my heart, this feels right to me, I believe in myself, and I'm going to go do it. I'm going to try. So that was a quarter moon yesterday. So it's okay if you guys are still feeling rattled or shaken by that, because that's the energy. So you're going to feel it. Doesn't mean that that these Leos never feel it. They just have this attitude. That's the beautiful thing about fire sign energies, have this attitude, and they just like go into it no matter what. See what happens. So putting something into action over the weekend that made you feel a little rattled, but your heart knew it was right, was probably the right thing. That leads us into Monday. Ooh, I did right on the 4:30. Monday, today, the 9th of May. So today is when Mercury goes retrograde, and I'm kind of excited about this. When Mercury retrogrades 3 or 4 times a year, so it's a thing. We will be leading up to the Cazimi in a couple of weeks. Let's see, the 21st. And so these 2 weeks, we are ending a cycle that started January 23rd of this year. and we'll be starting a whole new cycle that's going to take us into the fall. So I'm pretty excited because this Mercury retrograde is going to involve the 6 trines to Pluto. So I just feel like we'll have like wonderful excavation energy available to us. And so this Mercury is going to retrograde until June the 3rd, and it's going to go back into Taurus. So it is wonky, it is harder, it is more challenging when that happens. But these first 2 weeks of the retrograde, it's that consolidation of how we've been changing our mind, talking to ourselves, our perspective, and it's all of that consolidation is what seeds the next cycle. And actually Mercury, guten Morgen everyone. This Mercury, let me just give you guys a couple of notes. Each year, Mercury will turn retrograde at nearly the same degree it turned direct 11 months prior. So, if anyone, you can look back in your date books to June, let's see, May 30th to June 22nd, 2021. That period of time, this is where Mercury is picking up where it left off. They're picking up themes from the previous year which may have been overlooked or ignored. Isn't this poetic? That Mercury's gonna just pick it right up again, pick up that thread right up again. In this way, Mercury continuously reconnects the phases together, not skipping one beat and giving you the opportunities to become conscious and allow new patterns of thinking to emerge. So what you think that you escape, some people might think, I'm just going to wait this out. I'm going to wait out the transit, wait for it to pass, and then try to move on with my life. You don't escape it. You just pick it right back up again, literally 11 months later. So if there's ever a Mercury, I'm adding that one to the list too. I have an ongoing list of somewhere, Mercury. I have an ongoing list of things I'm saying wrong on Mercury retrograde. So you think you're escaping something in a Mercury retrograde, you're going to come back to it 11 months later. So no matter how agonizing it feels, no matter how frustrating it feels, it's an unconscious desire of yours. And I'm going to say for Mercury retrograde, and especially for this one, I think actually all of them do that this year. They all will retrograde and then go direct in another sign. So they might all be kind of crunchy. All of the hassles that occur during Mercury retrograde, anything that feels uncomfortable, especially mentally, delays, obstacles, I would adjust the attitude to embrace them as a call to contemplate and deliberate. And, the very things that you're not going to want to focus on are going to be what are coming up for you and making you deal with it, making you focus on this. So it's like turning into when you're skidding in the car, you want to go into it. You want to go right to the heart of it, because what we'll want to do is like just go away from it, and it'll be the last thing we want to deal with. But it's better to just hone in on it. We want to just like get it over with. We want it done. We want it dealt with, and it's frustrating. It's holding us up, but it's actually happening on purpose so that you deal with it. So whatever is coming up for you, what do I have written here? This leads to critical excavations. Perfect. I love that word, excavation, especially for Pluto. As we recognize and change from ignorance, the subconscious, to knowledge, becoming conscious. So any reversals, crises, fallouts, and disappointments are opportunities to welcome in new understanding on something we would have otherwise proceeded in ignorance. Each phase is a stage of development of one idea. This is from my Mercury synodic cycle, which I actually put together for Astrology 101. This isn't actually like a 101, it's kind of a little bit higher than that, but I actually did put that all together January 23rd. I just went like Mercury obsessed and just put all the cycles together for the year, and it was just really fun. So Mercury retrograde, anything that feels so frustrating or like a worm, like a brain worm or something, or anything at all, dive right into it, tackle it. It's coming up anyway, and it's showing you something. It wants you to pay special attention to this. So for the first couple weeks of this retrograde, you're more so consolidating and integrating everything that you've learned mentally and integrating everything that you've been absorbing and taking in information-wise since the end of January. So by the time the Cazimi comes around, there will be a new idea, there will be a new thing, and so that'll be exciting, and it'll start a whole new cycle of learning. So we learn to appreciate each phase. That's actually a very extensive class, that Mercury Synodic Cycle. I have this multiple page PDF. So, and again, I'm not sure if that's on the website or if that's just on Patreon right now, but you can always send me an email, TheFirstArteagan@gmail.com, and we'll get you sorted. So Monday, also, so whatever messages or information or anything you're thinking about today, the 9th, write it all down, because it will receive the full light of meaning on or around June 18th. That is when Mercury will leave its shadow completely. And yeah, any Geminis and Virgos out there, Sun, Moon, Risings, this is your ruler. So you guys are especially karmically pulled back to revisit something important. So, okay, and I do have like the little titles that I have here. Oh, let's just see. No, I don't have them here. Okay, so let's move on to Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we have Jupiter entering Aries. This is huge. Jupiter was last here in 2010 to 2011 and 1999 to 2000 roughly. So you can look back at your life if you were incarnated at that time to see what was going on. And the biggest thing that stands out to me personally are WikiLeaks. So I would expect anything, the bottom line is anything that's going to promote the individual, support the process of individuation. So you want to think anything that requires innovation, leadership, pioneering, different, unique, very headstrong is very supported here. And Jupiter in Aries we are going to see a lot of righteous, like really strong righteousness with a lot of action and passion and physicality behind it. So, you know, if Jupiter in Pisces can be sort of righteous in the sense of what they believe and be a little bit, you know, on the dark side, be a little bit arrogant. Jupiter in Aries is going to take that energy and make them physically act on this. So armed uprisings, more leaks, more data leaks in pursuit of supporting individual rights and support of free speech specifically. And we're going to see a lot of action. We're going to see a lot. So for you though, wherever Aries is in your chart, you're ready to embrace this pioneering spirit. You're ready to embrace like just charging out on your own trail, making your own way, and making a path that is uniquely for you, that is just for you, doesn't look like anybody else's road. This is something that you thought of, that you originated, that you are personally passionate about. So I would say don't be afraid to take charge of this area of life. And I said this in my nights here over on Patreon for I think the April monthlies. There was a new moon in Aries in the beginning of April. I think it was April 1st. Yes, it was April 1st, April Fool's Day. There was a new moon in Aries. And I told all of my patrons, whatever you start over these next couple of weeks, it's going to feel so cringy. You might feel so insecure or so unsupported in this. And just know that if you push through that, if you use your courage and bravery to overcome that, you're going to feel so much better in May and in June, because, and going into the summer, because that area is going to expand, and it's going to get so much help when Venus and Mars and Jupiter all enter Aries in May, and then especially the end of May. So that's what's happening now. There's something that, there was a seed of it in the beginning of April that had some pain attached to it. There was some healing that was necessary. And so if you started it, or it came to your conscious awareness in the beginning of April, it's going to be more of a focus, especially, like, you're going to feel this, like, today until tomorrow, Monday going into Tuesday. I feel like the beginning of this week is very different than the end of this week because of these energy shifts. So when Jupiter moves into Aries, you're going to feel like some kind of like, you're going to feel something, especially because you might get a little gift from Jupiter leaving Pisces. Now, Jupiter won't stay in Aries. They will go back into Pisces, and then they're going to go back into Aries. So you're going to cover this point Monday to Tuesday. You're going to come back to this again later. So this is like a big, hard, fresh start. This is a lot of energy, a lot of momentum, a lot of enthusiasm. So I just want you to, if you have any fears, if you have any insecurities, acknowledge them, but then have the attitude of, okay, I am going to meet this. I am going to meet this fear. I am going to meet this insecurity, and I'm going to move forward. Even if you've never done it before, that's the whole point, actually. Anything that is super new for you, that you've never done before, that you haven't, another thing that I want to point out with Jupiter and Aries is, I am going to encourage you to be a teacher, that's Jupiter, and have a teacher. So if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have someone that you look up to, if you don't have someone that you want to be like, if you don't have someone that you respect their opinion and their experience very greatly, find someone like that. And I would encourage you to do the same for someone else. Whatever you happen to know a lot about, whatever you feel that you can offer, I just think energetically it would be a great balance for you to have both, to be a teacher and to help others, and to also have someone that you're always, like, you want to grow into yourself, but you need people around you that'll help you grow into your own self that you want to be. And I just think it's good energetically to have someone that you're helping grow, and then someone that you look up to that's helping you grow. So I think it also will help keep all the egos in check. So, because egos could totally be a thing. But, if you just stay mindful of it, and if you just, check yourself and remember that the ego dies with the body, and that we all know each other in heaven, and that fear is a fallacy. Fear is the conspiracy. Fear, the only conspiracy, is the greatest conspiracy. Fear is the greatest conspiracy against love. Fear is a lie. There is only one truth, and that's love. Speaking of conspiracy, so I was on TikTok and I saw this great old video of a woman in 1939, and she was born in 1835. And she was talking about her life, and I'm just like, I love history, and I love writing about history, like especially in my scripts and in my stories. I just have a knack for it. Honestly, I have a knack for history, biopic, Mercury Retrograde, come on, and horror, thriller. So I get a kick out of this stuff. And then I'm reading the comments, as we do, and I see this comment of this person saying that, oh, I missed a part. Mercury retrograde. So she's talking about her life, and then she said that she was on the board of lady managers for the Chicago Exposition. So the Columbian Exposition took place in the late 1890s in Chicago, Illinois. And it was a big thing. It's a big deal, huge, worldwide fame, attention. It was a tentpole spectacle. It was massive. And someone in this comment on this video said, on TikTok, said that it was fake. That the Chicago Exposition was fake. They said they called it like fake history, and they said that that it was a lie, and that it was meant. Meant to deliberately falsify history to like mislead us or something. And this hurt my feelings because I'm a Chicagoan, and I'm wearing my little Chicago gravestone shirt today. But I was born on the site of the Chicago Columbian Exposition in the late 1800s, and one of the buildings, our Museum of Science and Industry in Hyde Park, is still there. And every Chicagoan that grows up goes to this museum, like many times. So this building that's still there, I mean, you can go touch it. And it was like, when I'm like, and it was like erasure of my, I took it very personally. It was like an erasure of my own, like, childhood. It was really strange. So then they said all this stuff about like technologies, were all this stuff. So I asked, not snarkily, not aggressively. I just asked for more information. I just asked for more information. I haven't gotten any response back, but I wanted to know, like, why do you think this? Like, where did you hear that? Who told you this? And what's saying that? And like, I was just very naturally, after the pain subsided, I was very, very curious. So that's going to be a Mercury retrograde thing for me personally. Like that's, I could tell, like that, like right on the heels of this Mercury retrograde, I'm like, oh my God, because I wrote extensively about this and I researched it, did so many interviews about that time period and about that specific event, and I have personal history with this event. So my point of all that is to zero in on the fear, because these comments, this conspiracy is fear. Fear is conspiracy. They're the same thing. Energetically, this is a fear of something that's cognitive dissonance. There's something that the conspiracy energy comes up, this suspicion, and it's like a blind spot to something. And I don't know, this is the first time I've ever seen anything like this, so I'm not sure if this is prevalent or if it's not prevalent. People talking about the exposition that was never there, or I've never seen that. I've never heard of that term before. But it was very, very surprising to me. But just know that it's, from my perspective, spirituality is above everything else. Energetically speaking, conspiracy and fear are the same, like the same tone, the same frequency, it's the same. So just remember that any suspicious, because Mercury is going retrograde, it can pull in a lot of suspicious energy. We have 6 trines to Pluto. It can pull in a lot of suspicious energy, especially paranoia, especially conspiratorial energy. So just understand that is that's something that you haven't. You're looking for something. There is a conspiracy. It's just not what you think. The conspiracy is against love, against the truth, and the only truth is love. I should put that back up on love, truth, and integrity. Everything else is a lie. Everything else is a fallacy. So just keep that in mind, because we're going to see probably a lot of that. We're probably going to see a lot of with Jupiter and Aries, everyone's going to think that they're right. Everyone's going to think that their perspective is it. But, setting a good example here and just innocently asking for more information, not from, you know, even though I was hurt, I didn't attack. I didn't, of course I didn't attack, but I mean, you know, of course I didn't instigate any kind of anything. I just innocently asked for more information. So this week in particular, as we lead up to the total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, if anything comes up, just know that you want to think long term. You don't want anything that you say, especially Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of this week, to come back and bite you, to come back and haunt you, to come back and be something that you've got to walk back on or take back or apologize for. Not that there's anything wrong with apologizing. We just want, this is why we do astrology, is that you can get the jump on this stuff. So just be very, very cognizant of how you're showing up to the conversation and how you show up, because love, I can't say this more, love is the only truth. And the reason why I'm calling this week the Bullseye Seeks the Arrow is because of that resonance and that attraction. There's some goal that you want, there's some feeling you want to feel, and it's finding you just as much as you have this desire for it. It's just as much as you feel this harmonic, symphonic resonance with it, it's trying to find you too. And the only things that are coming in between you and that feeling that you want to feel are fallacies, things that are not even true. Anger, unless it's the human alert system to tell you that a boundary is being crossed. Fear, shame, guilt, jealousy, envy, all of those things are lies. They're not real. They're not true. So when all of that drops, when all those veils drop, you get to really get to the bullseye. And that bullseye wants you to hit it, you're the arrow. That bullseye wants you to hit it, wants that puncture, wants that boom, that moment all coming together. So I wish I wrote down these titles so I can help explain them. Okay. Eager to embrace so Jupiter and Aries, that's what I would say. I would say to stay open-minded, but you know, Jupiter and Aries can be kind of like hard-headed in the worst way. So stay open-minded, but also help others along as much as you can. Or actually, let me take that back. See, I'm already walking something back. Not helping people as much as you can. True generosity is when you give the right thing to the right person at the right time in a way that benefits you both. So there's got to be this equal energy exchange. So that's why I'm guiding to, you know, have someone that you are helping and teaching and instructing, but then also find a mentor or find someone that you could really learn from and someone that's going to help you grow in a way that you want to grow as well. Okay, now I feel better. Wednesday. Let me find it, because now I'm going to really wonder what I want the full titles. Hold on. Okay. Okay, yeah. Sunday was Courage from the Heart. Monday was no beat skipping. We're not skipping any beats because we're picking up the threads. And then Tuesday, Jupiter and Aries, blazing your sacred trail. Wednesday, Moon in Virgo, being John Malkovich. That's right, and I didn't have it written here. Perfect timing. Okay, so tuning into this energy, I did see being John Malkovich, that scene where he's like going through the files like really, really, really fast. You know, he's like, Moon in Virgo, processing, sorting, organizing how we feel. So, you know, if there's been any big shifts that you can see or feel Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, by Wednesday, you're just sort of processing all of this. You're feeling how you feel about it. Sorry, that's my stomach. I'm suddenly extremely hungry. And you're trying to make it make sense, and you're trying to organize it in a way that feels more comfortable for you. So let that happen. And it's going to feel better to clean at, let's see. Yeah, Wednesday's going to feel, it's almost like you're trying to organize your life and organizing your physical. That's very Virgo. Virgo needing to have like their physical environments very well organized to their specifications, and they feel like they have control in their life, their inner life. So be like the Virgo and clean, tackle the clutter corner and organize things and wash everything and categorize things and get your stuff that you're going to donate and drop off, load it into the car or what have you. It's going to make you feel better about the things that are changing, because we're in this magical, timeless eclipse portal, and things are definitely changing. So that'll be Wednesday. Let's take a look at Thursday. Thursday, I am calling, let's see, Moon in Libra, don't overthink it. Okay, so we definitely, when the moon enters Libra, number one, we'll be tempted to not focus on ourselves and over-focus on another person or on our relationships. I'm saying here, don't overthink it, because if you are thinking about everything like you've been since Wednesday, you want to look for the balance. And part of seeking that balance is not thinking about things with anxiety, and that's why I'm saying overthinking it. You can balance your relationships with others. It's going to be more important for you. You're going to feel more emotionally grounded and secure when your relationships are equal and balanced and fair and equanimous. And I would say trying to have the most grounded and honest approach to their needs as well as your own, because that's another Libra thing, is that, relationships are very important, but, so are you. So are you, Libras. You're important too. So, don't overthink and give all of your power away for peace. Be as fair and equanimous as possible with yourself and also with other people's emotions and needs for space, needs for intimacy, needs for growth, needs for time. Everybody can be balanced. And the Libra secret, why Libras are so successful, is that they do know the art of the compromise, and they do know how to make it so that everyone wins. The art of the compromise, that's when everyone compromises in an equal amount, in an equal fashion, so that nobody feels that they're giving too much up or sacrificing in like this martyr type way, so that everyone making the right equal compromises, and then everybody wins, everybody gets something, everybody can agree on something, and that's when the deal gets made, everybody can benefit, everybody wins together, everybody compromises together. And that feeling, so even if there are very deep compromises, everyone's doing it, and it just cements the bond even more. It makes that, whether it's a bond in a relationship or whether it's a business deal, it just makes the connection and the promise and the tie that binds that much tighter, that much stronger, that much more, okay, we're in this together, and we're really in this together because we're all, and so it's just like that much stronger of, than when everything is like perfect, and then, you don't know how tight you really are until that relationship or that thing is stress tested. Then it's no one wants to compromise. Then no one wants to be patient or whatever it is. So everyone should definitely have a Libra in their life. Everyone should definitely have like a Libra around. Actually, all the cardinal signs, I would say. Okay. Ooh, and then we get to Friday the 13th. Okay. Happy Friday the 13th. Spooky. Sun conjoins the North Node. Hunger. There's a hunger to manifest your destiny. You're going to feel it. You're going to see it. There's going to be an aha moment. There's going to be a realization. There's going to be this like salivation happening to go towards what you feel. This is life unlived. This is going to be very new for you. And you're going to feel that either the path is opening up for you, or you're going to feel an actual hunger to create that path for yourself. Take another step, take an opportunity, create an opportunity, write something down. Like, you're going to feel something. You're going to feel something Friday the 13th. So I would expect it to be epic. I would expect it to be epic realizations. Also, what I like about this is that there's something very manifesty about this because it's Taurus. Taurus is very, very sensual and very material and very physical, a lot of physicality. So, you know, you might know what to do, or you might see something like physically manifested for you. Like all of a sudden maybe you have an investment that does very well. You're like, oh my God, all of a sudden I have access to this. Or all of a sudden, or maybe maybe you sent something to get repaired and then you get it back earlier than you thought it was going to come. Maybe it was going to take like 6 months and you get it back very soon. And it's like, now you can, maybe it's your camera and you can go do your thing. So it's going to be exciting. I feel like it's going to be a surprise. I did get Pee-wee's Big Adventure for this tuning in, and there's parts of that movie that really scare me, so I don't know what that means. I mean, I like the movie. It's a speaking of movies, so I did watch Magic Mike XXL this weekend, you guys, and it's hilarious because Amber Heard is in the movie. So I was looking for a movie because I did my nails and we're back to Fire Engine Red. And I was looking for a movie that I wasn't gonna like watch the whole thing. I was just gonna like do my nails and then like look up. And I thought, oh, this is perfect. I can just do my nails and then look up when they start dancing or doing something interesting. And the scene where he meets the girl, she plays the girl. It's like, I'm only listening anyway, but the scene is like they're on a beach at night, Natalie. And so she's sort of obscured in the beginning anyway. And when they start talking, I get this weird vibe, you guys. It was so funny. And I'm like, I feel weird. Like, what is this weird feeling? This movie came out like 7 years ago. I'm either so ahead of the curve or I'm just like totally missing boats all left and right. It's just very timeless. And so later on in the film, I understand why I felt weird, is because then I saw her and I'm like, oh my God, I had no idea. That's just like such a surprise that she was in there. And I like I said, this movie came out like forever ago and I didn't realize it. Everybody. So that was hilarious. It's more than dancing. It was very, very impressive. And that's actually a great example of like Jupiter in Aries. It's like extremely physical. This is like running around, jumping off things, getting super into like a new workout routine, going bike riding a lot. Like all of that is going to just pick up even more so. So was I going anywhere with that? I don't think that I was. Oh, I was talking about Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So I don't know if that's some kind of special download for someone. Maybe you have like your own big adventure that you're going on that just opens up for you. But you're going to see it. You're going to see it. You're going to feel it. You're going to know it. And you cannot miss it. You absolutely cannot miss it. So, also for this Mercury retrograde period, it would be great to, if you're gonna hire somebody, it's best to go back to people that either you've already hired and worked with before, or people that you just already know. So it's not quite the best for like, if you meet someone new on a Mercury retrograde, you can still talk to them and stuff, but just like give it time after June 18th, because there just might be something about them really important to you that you just don't know. That's not going to come out or be revealed about them until after June 18th. Okay? So don't make any super big, I'm just saying that. And if you have to do things like paperwork or contracts and agreements, you can still do that on a Mercury retrograde. If you can at all wait, that is preferable, but you can still do them. Just go really slow, go and be really thorough, double, triple, quadruple, quintuple check them all. That's all. And give yourself extra time to get places and to get, just if you budget an hour for traffic, budget 2, things like that. So, we work with the energies and we still got to live life. Okay. So, okay, let's move on. Saturday. Okay, Saturday, the 14th, we've got the moon in Scorpio, where the world turns black and white. And then we have Mars, ruler of Scorpio, sextiling Mars in Pisces, ruler of Scorpio, sextiling the North Node in Taurus. What did I call Saturday? I called Saturday cutting in and out. That's right. Okay. So Mars is the cutting agent, and you could be cutting something into your life, like you're in my circle. You can be cutting something into your life, and you can also be cutting something out of your life. You might be so ready to let go of something, whether that's a mentality or a way of feeling, a way of talking to yourself, a way of, can be spiritual with Mars and Pisces here. But the North Node in Taurus is the physicality, the physical groundedness. So there could be something materializing about what you've already been thinking about. Like, I'm thinking about cutting something in and cutting something out, and you might do it. And you could do it like any time this week, honestly, but it could really pop for you on Saturday or over the weekend, because that moon in Scorpio speaks to bonds and boundaries. So it governs the bonds that we consciously create. Me being a separate individual, you being a separate individual, and that bond that connects us. And, that connects us. Or it's the boundary where I'm a separate person, you're a separate person, and we erect a boundary. We erect some kind of space or distance or something to keep us separated. And so when the moon's in Scorpio, you're going to be feeling very strongly about the bonds that you allow, that you choose to have in your life. Like, I want to be close with this person. I want to be close with this idea or this feeling or this course of knowledge. And you're going to feel very strongly what you want to push out and away from you with the boundaries. You're going to feel very strongly, I don't want this in my life. I don't want this person here. I don't want to feel this way. I don't want to think this way. It's not good for me. I don't want it. And I'm ready to let it go. I'm ready to, and you might see something. You might see something that makes you feel very strongly one way or another. And so that Mars sextiling the North Node, whatever you're cutting in or out this week is really benefiting you. It's really like, it could be something that you didn't have the gumption to do, or the knowledge or the experience or the wisdom or the whatever, something that you didn't have from, let's see, what was that? May 30th to June 22nd, 2021, that you just weren't ready to do it. And now you've got the benefit of like all this, all these other transits and all these other energies. This is some big energy shifts this week in particular. So, okay. Sunday. Moving right along. Okay, so on Sunday we have the total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, and this is a massive ending. Okay, so on Sunday, we've got this total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, and I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. I love Scorpio energy, to be honest. Oh, speaking of Jupiter, wherever your Jupiter is in your chart, that is the sign, that's who you make feel good. Emotionally, yes, but also physically, without even trying. Like just you being in the same room with them, they feel amazing. So for me, I have my Jupiter in Taurus, and it works for the opposite sign too. So for me, Tauruses and Scorpios usually, like, I don't have to try. We just like peas in a pod. So, but I'm calling this total lunar eclipse closing out unfinished business once and for all. I'm also going to be calling it Drain the Drain next week. So keep an eye out for that. This total lunar eclipse, if you are not being given life, if your life force is not increasing and you are feeling you're getting more and more energy from this, it's got to go. It's either a gain for you, you're gaining something, you're gaining friendship, you're gaining money, you're gaining opportunity, you're gaining goodwill feeling, you're gaining self-esteem. You got to be gaining something from this. Otherwise, it's very likely draining you. It's pulling on you. It's taking your time. It's taking your energy. It's taking your self-esteem. It's taking your money. It's taking your self-worth. It's taking something. And you're ready. Now, if you're not ready, because you might not be ready, universe is just going to be a rug pull. It's going to take it away from you. So that's what eclipses do when we're not leading up to this already. Because we're supposed to be doing all of this on our own. But if we're not, then the eclipses come in and just, and it's just like, you're the star of your own adventure film. So this total lunar, and here's a great thing, is that with the solar eclipse happening first, something is starting. There's this, and it's exciting because it's a solar eclipse with Uranus and Taurus. So it's like the surprises and the ideas, from, the beginning of May, April 30th until May 15th, exciting. You got something. So something is starting while something else is ending. So if it were reverse, if it were the lunar eclipse first, something would be rug pull, taken from you, and then you'd be like wandering. All of us would be like sobbing and wondering, like, and it's like sort of lost, and then we would get something new that starts. So have some perspective there. There's something new that's starting in your life, and now we got to deal with the ending. But keep an eye on the thing that's starting, or the thing that's really trying to open up for you, because it'll help you release and let go. And here's the thing, I'm going to give you a little tip, a little energetic tip, is that when something flushes, especially like this, like on a total lunar eclipse, you will feel the, God, it's not a death rattle. It's like this big wave of nostalgia and love for this thing that's ending, that you got to get rid of. This is like when you move house, and maybe you're going from, maybe you live in like, my father did this. He lived in a trailer park while he was saving to buy his house, and this is a perfect example. And this thing was like, oh my God, it was like Bug City, because it was right next to like these tracks, and it was super swampy. Chicago's built on a swamp, FYI. And like my sister and I have so many good memories there, just like playing. And when it was time, he bought his house. When it was time to say goodbye to the trailer, even though we all knew it was like the best thing because we're upgrading into a house, so it's not like Bug City, there of course was that like, aww, the trailer, like it was just like, this, like in our heart space, so you're going to feel that, but you got to let it go. Okay? You're moving on up. You are upgrading. So whatever is you're going to feel it. You're going to feel like, oh, the trailer. I mean, I think the washing machine flooded once, and it was this guys, I mean, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. Like, looking back now, it was like hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. But you let perfect analogy, perfect metaphor for you guys for this total lunar eclipse, because this is a hard close. It's a hard, this lunar eclipse is like unforgiving. Like, whatever is so gone, it's going to be so gone. Like, there is no going back. It's going to be a big one. So if you have any planets or points at or around the 25th degree of any of the fixed signs, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, or Aquarius, God, and they're in the fixed signs, it's going to be really hard. Really hard. But you can do it. You can totally do it. I would say try not to grip it. And that was an easy example because it's a physical thing. It's like you're physically moving from, a trailer to a house. But for some of you guys, it's not going to be physical and it's not going to be that easy. It's going to be emotional, where you have to leave behind feeling a certain way. You're going to have to leave behind thinking a certain way. You're going to have to leave behind talking, communicating to yourself or to others in a certain way. You're going to have to leave behind something spiritual, an attitude, and those are hard, way hard, because it's not as easy as like picking something up and putting something down. It's physically manifested. It's an internal shift that's happening, but you can do it. You lived your life up until this point to be able to get to this spot, so that you can do it. So this total lunar eclipse is T-squaring Saturn in Aquarius, but I feel like that's okay. So this is also going to be facing fears, facing responsibility, facing, reconciling what's best for humanity or the group, what's best for everyone, what will honor everyone's individuality. It's about so Saturn in Aquarius has been wreaking havoc on everyone's group affiliations, groups we belong to, communities we belong to, workplace communities, families, friend groups, collaboration. I have a collaboration coming out this week, and Saturn is stress testing all of these groups, all of these tribes, I should say. And this lunar eclipse could very well put unimaginable, fated stress on that theme for you, where you may have either a fear here, or you may need to step up and take responsibility in some way in your groups or in your tribes. And it may mean that you got to let something go. You have to let something flush out in order to be that person. For instance, so I had the end of last week, I had a Venus-Uranus square for me natally to my chart. And I knew it was coming up. And I could tell by the configurations that someone was going to try to attack me, specifically on the internet or using the internet or something digital. Sure enough, it happened. And, because I am who I am, I was 100% prepared. And this is so random. There was still the element of surprise. It was this small but angry contingent of, they turned out to be subscribers to this channel, to our community, the Arteagan here on YouTube, subscribers to the channel that I don't think they were connected. It just happened all at the same time, where they dug up these old astrology videos that I had put up on this YouTube channel and tried to start some fight, an argument with me about sidereal versus Western astrology. I'm laughing because that's not even something that would trigger me. That's not even something that would upset me. That's not even something that I would saying the Chicago Exposition never happened hurts more than talking about sidereal. Oh my God. But here's the thing is, I made this channel and I made our community over on Patreon. There are serious boundaries I enforce to protect every single individual in the communities that I create. And when my divine masculine, my healed masculine energy steps forward in me, I can feel it. Like I just straighten my back. Like I straighten, I really get really straight, and my voice changes, and people tell me my eyes change, but I don't think they do. I think it's just, I think they're experiencing telepathy and they don't maybe understand it, or have never felt it before. And my point to this is I need to use my masculine energy, my divine healed masculine energy, to create a safe place for you here on YouTube and also on Patreon. And these channels are small enough where I can do that. I can go and I block them. And they unfortunately turned out to be subscribers, but I blocked them, and it was kind of a few. So and I took down these dense comments, these lower vibrational comments, and I do that confidently because I know what I'm doing. I know that my masculine energy is coming forward to protect the individuals in this community. Because if I don't take the steps to make you feel safe, you won't get the healing. Your feminine energy won't feel safe enough to heal here, to hear these messages. You've just been opened up, hearing one of my messages that you've been guided to, and then you scroll down and you see an ugly comment, and it affects you, and it changes your vibration, and you're all of a sudden thinking about something else, and it's distracting, and it's all of this. No. I create these communities. I'm enforcing very serious boundaries to protect all of us here, and I have no qualms about doing that. So that was my Venus-Uranus the end of the end of last week. But speaking in terms of this total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, I want you to take that idea of whatever comes up for you in terms of feeling responsible, feeling fearful, feeling it's very black and white. Like this total lunar eclipse, it's Scorpio here, okay? Scorpio's intense. Scorpio energy, Pluto energy wants to give you endings so that you can have beginnings. So people may feel fear about something ending. They may feel fear about starting something. They may feel fear about beginning something. They may feel fear about being responsible. I don't know. It's going to come up for some people. So whatever it is for you, you'll have to take a look in your chart. I already went through all of this for the May monthly for all of my patrons in the Night Seer and above. That came out early May of this month. What I do like about this is the ruler of this eclipse is Mars. I'm taking Mars, the ancient ruler. Mars is with Neptune in Pisces, forming a trine to this solar eclipse. Whatever you are ending, I'm done feeling a certain way. I'm done in this relationship. I'm done being perceived by the public this way. I'm done doing this, whatever it is. Whatever you're ending, you will feel that it's the right thing to do. You will feel convicted. You will feel spiritually called to end this or to complete this, close the door on this, and it will serve you in the future. It will serve you in the long run. This is going to be a decision or an acceptance, because in some cases things are just going to end on their own in our lives, and we can choose to accept it, or we can choose to really fight it and grapple with it emotionally and make it really dramatic and traumatic and really sometimes we have to do that. Sometimes we just have to be on the floor rolling around, but you can choose to accept it. So you're either ending something on your own and you feel very guided towards it, or you're choosing to accept what is naturally coming to its natural conclusion, its natural end, and however you do it, you're going to thank yourself. You're going to be so happy that you either embraced the ending or that you ended something on your own, of your own volition, because it is going to serve you in the long run, especially if it involves taking responsibility especially if it involves advocating for the group, for the tribe. I love you guys. Okay, so the T-square is going to put that pressure on. Make no doubt about it. It's going to put the pressure on, but it's part of it. It's part of what's ending is this big monumental pressure. I also love what Pluto's doing. The other ruler of Scorpio, Pluto, is sextiling the lunar eclipse and trining over to Mercury and the sun. That is nice. This is very, very deep. You're getting really, really in the thick of it. So you'll know, like, especially going on what I said in the very beginning, if it's not giving you life, if it's not giving you, if you're not gaining, if you're being drained, you know exactly, because stress and hatred and anger and fear and conspiracy and jealousy and rage and envy and shame and guilt, all of that, anxiety, all of that is draining of our life force, and it's not even real. So just saying. Oh yeah, Venus is conjunct Chiron, so there is going to be some insecurity. There is going to be some meeting of the insecurity. We need to meet the insecurity, but again, have the courage and the bravery to say, I'm going to go do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to do it before I'm ready. It feels really, really insecure. It feels really this or that, but I know it's best for me. Nuclear power. Okay. Is that everything? That is. That is where we end the week. And then I am thinking about bringing back recorded videos for you guys, since this is very Pluto stationing retrograde on the solar eclipse is bringing back 2019 energy. So we will come back next week, but for right now, let's dive into the collective tarot. Okay, we are just going to take a look at the week ahead. I will be back Wednesday and Frigg's Day for all of those downloads in the cup. Okay, let's take a look and see what we can. God, my arms are so freaking long. They're so long. You have no idea how far away that they're just like. Anywho's. There's a lot happening. Mercury stationing retrograde, Jupiter entering Aries, building up to the total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, Sun conjuncting the North Node in Taurus. You are going to be a totally different person by next week. Level up. And let me just put it this way, with that Saturn, like all the energy pointing to the responsibility, and the Saturn in Aquarius doing what's best for the tribe, that's what makes you trustworthy. That's what makes me a trustworthy steward. This is what makes me a trustworthy person for my communities, and it promotes trust. It's like, okay, I'm safe here. I'm safe, and I can be vulnerable. I'm safe, and I can trust, and I'm safe. When someone is in their masculine energy, it's because they don't feel safe. It's like I'm in my masculine energy. I gotta be aggressive. I gotta be attacking, or I gotta do this, or I gotta do that, and I don't feel safe. It doesn't always have to mean that it's toxic masculinity. It means, if someone's like a feminine dominant person and then they switch into their masculine energy, it's because they don't feel safe. They're not being toxic necessarily. So if you're a masculine dominant person, you need to focus on healing any masculine energy if it's not already healed, and then just making a safe space, making it safe for your partner or your people or your tribe, whatever group or community that you are the leader of, and making it a safe space for them. Just make them feel protected so that they can flourish. I make it's not often, but when my masculine energy has to come out, it's to make it safe for you guys, so you guys can do your healing, and I can support your growth and your psychic ability, you know, and your feminine energies. So no fear. No fear. What's the strongest energy about this week, please? You see it okay, yeah. Loving these nails. Fire engine red is back. The page of, I always feel like somebody's watching me. And I got no privacy. Oh, okay. But for real, my loves. Sleep with one eye open, gripping your pillow tight. There is something about the 80s. There's something about 1999. There's something about the 80s. I'm getting that somebody is getting this resurgence of ambition or excitedness, or there's something coming back that is very exciting for you that you haven't like felt or seen in a long time. This might even be a young person that reminds you of yourself when you were younger, when you were their age, and it's kind of like waking up that version of you, maybe from the 80s. I don't know. But you're definitely keeping an eye. You're watching, or you're watching someone, someone's watching you. Keep an eye on the social medias. So if you guys want to play around with that, today Mercury stations retrograde, 4 degrees of Gemini. 11 months ago, picking up that theme from, what did I say, May 30th to June 22nd, 2021. If you want to go back through your text messages, your camera roll, your emails, your DMs, what are you picking up? What are the themes? Maybe not the exact people or situations, but the themes. The themes. Okay, what else about this Page of Swords? Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, 6 of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles, reaching with my tentacles for the pentacles. Feeling so excitable for the pentacle. Okay, there's something very VIP about this. I feel like there could have been an argument about resources. There could have been an argument about this is like, I want to live here. I want to live, and your spouse wants to live somewhere else. Or you're happy where you live, but your spouse is in the military and they move the bases a lot, and you have to move, and you're like, dang, I really like it here. Or maybe someone wants to invest over here and someone wants to invest over there. But there's something about material resources or finances, or maybe opportunities or jobs and things like that. But whatever the fight is about, I don't want to say fight, but there's these swords pointing down. There could have been some less than kind words about this. You're moving on from that. That's over this week. You're moving beyond that. These troubled waters. You're taking the water Uber to calmer shores. Okay, let's take a look at the next energy. We're going to clarify this. We're going to keep it there. The Knight of Cups, Romeo. The Two of Swords and the Seven of Swords. Dang, this kind of looks like a hard position. Someone overall this week doesn't know what to do. Just totally doesn't know what to do. It's a heart issue. It's an emotional issue. It's over here. Oh no! 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. There's a lot of swords here. Man, okay. So what I talked a little bit about it last week with Pluto stationing retrograde and the force. And I was talking about Sun Pluto people, how they're like super forceful. When you exert that force outwards and to the benefit of the masses, Pluto rules like the masses, Pluto rules television, you do better. You're successful, you win. When you use all of that force for your own selfish ends, your own selfish means, those decisions don't age well. Let me put it that way. Those decisions, those words don't age well. You're not going to be proud of yourself later on. You're not going to feel happy. You're not going to feel good. This is all conflict of some sort of selfishness, someone leveraging their status or power or dark feelings to hurt someone else or disparage someone else, or some sort of competition. But remember, all of that stuff is fallacious. All of that stuff is not real. The only real thing is love, truth. Love is the only truth. Remember, it is these communities are love, truth, and integrity. I don't know what I want to cry. This feels so horrible. I'm sorry. This is like an energetic constipation. I feel like this is part of, like, you go from the 5 to the 6 of Swords. So even though it's like a little bit reversed positionally, I feel like you do move on from that feeling of, I'll do anything to get what I want. The 5 of Swords. That 5 of Swords is like, I don't care who I step on. I don't care what happens. I just like want what I want. I feel like you're moving on from that. And it could be everyone. Okay, I would feel a lot better if this is about a job, because this is more natural. Like where you would see that coming, that kind of energy coming through, or if there's some kind of competition. But I hope this is not like a personal relationship, because then it's like, let's take a look at, should I put the light on? Sorry, you're like, we don't maybe not need that. Does that make any difference? I guess not. Okay, let's start with the Page of Swords, in case this has anything in a relationship. You might even I'm getting that someone might even find out about something. Like if you're breaking up with somebody or something, you might find out. If you're breaking up with someone, if your lunar eclipse is about breaking up with somebody, you may find out about something unsavory. Tell me about the Page of Swords. Oh, I always feel like the 8 of Pentacles. This is so cute because they're like in bed after doing it, and I like his haircut. Look at his hair. I mean, try not to show her nip, but you can't. It's not really. Hold on. Oh, his hair is so cute. I like that. Okay, It's cute. Okay, but this is like, oh yeah, her mocha pot's just like mine. Okay, sorry. I see this little mocha pot in the background. Okay, this is like the morning in... Sorry, this is very... Look at this muscle here. This is the under... Do you know how hard that is to get that muscle developed? That under the arm, like under the bicep. You know how hard that is? There it is. You know how hard that is? It's really hard. That's really... You have to do these... Sorry. Let's read from the boogie book. Okay. So... But yeah, it's in the morning, and she's like she's watching her show or something, and he's like caressing her with the rose. It's very sweet. It makes me happy. Indifference, magic in the cup of coffee. An affectionate, gentle, and tender approach helps to overcome your partner's indifference because it reflects simple and honest feelings. Love, truth, and integrity. I hope this camera does not fall. Okay, so 8 of Pentacles. Simple and honest. Just go the simple and honest route. This Page of Swords, you don't need, just be simple and honest. You know, don't try to... Now, on the flip side, it could be something that's very simple and honest that's said that sort of ignites a big powder keg, because the Page of Swords can also be a young person that very innocently says something simple and honest to power, speaking truth to power, and they don't know the position it puts the person in power to do the right thing. And if they're not comfortable with that power, this is very like father, patriarchal, masculine, divine masculine type energy. If they have an issue with that, or if they have a problem with that, or they don't want to enforce the boundary to protect the individuals in the tribe, in the community, if they have qualms about that, or if they're morally like, I don't know what the right thing to do is, or, you know, then this can be a bit of a challenge, because then they're burdened with this information. They're burdened with this situation that they don't know, or they feel sort of like challenged by like doing like the right thing, or what is that, or, you know, that kind of energy. But this is working at it. So I would feel better if this is a work situation, because if it's a work situation, then it's the simple and honest and direct person that is the best. They may not be the most experienced. It's just a little page, but they're very bright. If this is the case for you, they're really smart. I mean, this might be like a very intelligent person, but also honest and sincere. So I like it. Let's take a look at the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Swords. You're going to resolve it. This all gets resolved. Whether it's an opportunity for some, it can be like a proposal or a commitment. My goodness gracious. Wow. The Three of Pentacles. They look pretty happy. Okay, so let's take a look at the Three of Pentacles. This, I like to see all these pentacles. That's like the grounded in integrity and in honesty. So, warmth, the magic of the earthenware pot. In order to become meaningful, a relationship must be able to offer warmth and protection. You must give in order to be able to receive. That's the masculine energy again. The masculine energy is very giving. The feminine energy is very receiving. The feminine energy won't want to receive if it doesn't feel protected. And the masculine energy won't want to give if they're not feeling, if the feminine energy is not like open to receiving, or warm, inviting, confident. Like if the feminine energy is a little bit corrupted, where the feminine energy maybe has fears. The conspiracy again. Fear and conspiracy energetically, when I tune in, they're the same energy. So if the feminine energy has a fear or a lack mentality, then it'll sort of dissuade or make that masculine energy like not really, they'll either not want to give, or they'll keep trying to give to quell the fear or the insecurity, but it won't really do that, because that's not the issue. The issue is that the feminine doesn't feel protected and safe. So that is, let's see, warmth. In order to become meaningful, talking about a meaningful relationship, a relationship must be able to offer warmth and protection. So this is like masculine and feminine energies combined. So this is about working together. So I see this week something absolutely fantastic comes together, and it's through some kind of resolution where all of the energies are balanced and they come together. But it's overcoming obstacle. It's overcoming speaking truth to power. This might be a little rascality. This could be, what did that casting director call me? Something about a gun. A pistol. He called me a pistol. And I think it's because I was kind of, the way I speak, I don't know. I think it's just, or like having moxie. You know, this might be someone that has a lot of moxie. But they're like learning. They're just like learning, so. But good-hearted, like I'm saying, the sincerity, it's important. Okay. Ooh, I feel better. So it all gets resolved. Happily ever after. Let's take a look at what we've got to alchemize over here. Tell me about these 2 5s. But these are tests. Like these are legit, especially the 5 of Wands. These are tests. This is competition. This is proving your mettle, but not doing so at the expense of others. Not doing so throwing other people under the bus. I cannot bring that up to show you. But it's the Emperor. That one is extremely not for YouTube. Okay. The Emperor, virility. Virility. The magic of the stones. This is a very masculine energy focused reading today, or video today, live stream today. To exercise the power entrusted to you, you must know how to dominate yourself. That is such the secret of being a divine masculine. Either if you're a masculine dominant person, or you identify as a man, or if you are just using, when you're masculine, I feel the shift happen when my masculine energy steps forward in me. I totally feel it. My voice changes, and I feel the intensity in my eyes because I'm like pushing my energy out through my eyes, but people are like, Natalie, you look scary or something. I don't think I look scary. I'm just serious. I'm just very, very serious. But that's totally, it's not, I don't think it's like the secret, but it's the truth behind being a good leader, being a good father to yourself, being a good father to others, being a good, so me talking, I love that I'm talking about communities so much more now that the nodes are in my houses that govern communities. I'm a Capricorn, Cancer ascendant, so these eclipses are totally changing my communities and tribes and other things too, but this is what, this is just on point. So to exercise the power entrusted to you, you must know how to dominate yourself. So this is showing up to be a parent to your creations. This is also affecting 5th house for me. So that's what you create. So it's children, it's a creation of the flesh, but it's also these communities that I created. It's also anything artistic that you create. It's also a company that you create. It's also a company that you start. It's an artistic project that you start. Anything that you create, you've got to be a good mother and father to it, as well as to yourself. So, you know, whether parenthood is part of your life or not, it doesn't, like in the physical child sense, doesn't matter, because you're creating things in your life. things that you're passionate about. A lot of you are artists, so your art, you put out an album, that's you birthing like your creative baby there. So I'm feeling so much better like as we go into this more and more, because there's someone here that is, this could be like the big boss. This is like the leader. This is like the final word comes from this person in this situation, like the boss, the big boss man or woman, but they're just like, they're cutting out all of the conflict. And if they've had any internal conflict about what's the right thing to do, what should we do, how should I wield my power, how should I use my power, how should I make a decision, they will figure it out. I'm trying not to touch this big penis. Okay. They will figure it out. It's literally his staff, and it's like very like, oh my God, like it's extremely graphic. So, but this person will like find their power, like he's holding his staff. You will find your staff, and you'll know what to do if it's you, and you will conquer any kind of internal conflict. And if there's external conflict, like if your team, if your people, if your tribe, if your community are not getting along, or if people are just running amok, or if I had people bringing the vibe down, making it very dense on those videos, you're going to no more. You're making it not a safe place for everybody else. So you can handle that over there, and if you heal up, you can come back. But if not, you got to stay on the outskirts. You cannot be part of. I cannot allow you in if I think you're going to hurt somebody in this group. No. The answer is no. Actually, that could be what this is. There could be, it depends if this is fear or if this is legitimate concern about someone that is deceptive, someone that is, this is a new word that I learned, like I think like in the past year, saccharine. If someone is saccharine, or someone, like this Knight of Cups is my Romeo energy, if someone is schmoozing, like real like salesy or something, that could be either a fear or that could be a legitimate concern. I don't know. You will know in your situation, but whatever it is, like you figure it out. Like everybody figures it out. But this is like one particular person in power. It's gonna figure it out. I would say have some honest, direct conversations. And look for the Eight of Pentacles, hard work that speaks for itself. They're not paying attention to each other necessarily. Well, he's paying attention to her, she's paying attention to something else, but they're okay. Like they're okay. The magic of the coffee pot. It's funny. Okay, what is your guidance? Ooh, what is additional guidance? Thank you. Ostrich, the choice is clear for you now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. Get it nice and close. Seriously, the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. The choice is clear for you now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. Follow this path bravely. And the Magpie. Reevaluate your priorities. It is time to let go of what you no longer need. Ooh, this is so spot on. Reevaluate your priorities. So I feel like that's totally calling something out right there. How would I put this? So these two fives, that's the test. The Five of Wands and then the Five of Swords. There's something, it could be ego. It could totally be ego. There's something about dominating yourself with this Emperor energy. I'm trying to think of an example of how If I were in my ego, my actions would have been different. But I don't want to stop this up here. But just if you're about to say something or do something, and if you just check in with yourself, is this from my ego? Is this honestly what I need to say right now? Is this honestly what I need to do right now? Is this the correct and powerful behavior right now? Or is this truth and love and integrity? Ask yourself that. I mean, that's what I do. I keep it pretty simple. 3 words. I ask myself before I say something and do something, is this love? Is this truth? Is this integrity? Because these are my priorities. And I don't go wrong doing that. Like that's how I live my life. So it is time to let go of what you no longer need. That's going to be your solar eclipse. That's going to be your total lunar eclipse. Time to let go of what you no longer need. So you don't need this fear or suspicion. Ooh, and I even picked that up by accident. You don't need the fear or the suspicion or competition, whatever that happens to be. I love you guys forever and ever and always. Take very good care. I will check in on your energies this Wednesday for more downloads, opening those downloads up with the tarot. And then stay tuned. I will have a collaboration coming out soon for Jupiter entering Aries. And have a great, have a great couple days and a week this week. Until Wednesday, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful heads, darlings. Mwah.